Boom! What's up everybody? My name is Kim Scogwell and today I have a giveaway for you all, but it won't be drawn until the next Affinity tutorial video I have, and you can win a Luminosity Mask, a macro. So all you have to do is press one button and you instantly get 5 highlights masks, 5 shadow masks and 5 midtones masks. And I will be drawing, so one of my subscribers will get it. If there's a lot of people who want it, then I might do a couple of more drawings later with some other presets and macros. Today we're going to be taking a look at a little bit more involved mask, and this is the type of mask that I will be having in the giveaway. And if you like this tutorial, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, leave some comments down below. Check out the description for how to enter, but you basically have to send me your subscription name to my channel in an email to spvp@email.com. And next time I make a video, we'll pick a winner at random and I'll email you your macro for the Luminosity Masks. I'll see you inside. Okay, so this is part 3 of how you can easily create and use Luminosity Masks. And this one is the most involved, but it's also the one that gives you the most control and precision here. It's not really that difficult, but we're gonna have a look and see how we do it. And remember, if you want to win my macro here with a luminosity pack, which is just one click, and all of a sudden you get 15 channels here. So we got 5 on highlights, 5 on shadows, and then 5 on midtones here. So be sure to read the description below and enter for that. So we're going to go back to layers here. I've already duplicated it, so I can do that again. You just hit Control J or Command J, you duplicate this layer, and for demonstrations purposes, until you start getting a hang of this, it's easier to convert this into a black and white layer. So you just hit Control Command U, then you drag the saturation all the way to the bottom. And now you hit this merge button, because we're going to merge this layer onto this one. That's perfect. So now if you go up here to our channels, if you don't see channels, go to View, Studio, and then Channels. So if you click them, we don't get it, nothing changes. So all you need to do is right click on one of them and then load to pixel selection. Now you can see here we have a whole bunch of stuff selected, and this is basically the highlights. So what you need to do now is go down to this pixel selection where you can see a tiny preview of what the mask is going to look like, and right click, create spare channel. Then you right click on that again, rename it. I'm going to call it highlights 1. We're only going to make 2 of each. So now you hit Control D to deselect everything. Now you're going to have to duplicate this top layer here again, Command Control J. And for a lot of nighttime photography stuff, I like to do this but use linear light. But for this purpose, we're going to use multiply. You can use all of them and you will get different results on how sensitive they are and how nicely graduated they are. So multiply, we can see this is a lot darker now than what it was. Same thing, go up here, composite red, right click, load to selection. We have the selection. Then we go pixel selection again, you see the preview, create spare channel, right click on spare channel and rename it highlights 2. Command Control D to deselect everything. Now we can delete this top layer here. So we just left with that first layer we made, the duplicate. And now we have to invert this layer. So you hit Control I. You can see we got it inverted here. now is the same thing. Go up to composite red, right click on it, load to pixel selection. You see the preview here, pixel selection, right click, create spare channel, right click, rename, SH1 for shadows 1, Command Control D, deselect. Now we have to duplicate this layer again, Command Control J, go up here. Since we use multiply, we have to use multiply again. So now once you've done this, composite red again, right click, load pixel selection, right click, create spare channel, rename it to SH2, and Command Control D to deselect. So now we can get rid of these two layers here by just marking them and hit the delete key. So now we need to make our midtones, and as you can see here, we are not back on RGB yet, and that's because we haven't pressed this button, and we don't need to do that just yet. So make sure you have your selected, your image layer selected. Hit right click on your highlights one, go down to load pixel selection. Nope, sorry, I got ahead of myself there for a second. Click on your image layer, Control A to select this whole image. Then you have to go up to the highlights, right click on it, and then subtract from pixel selection. And then you go to shadows one, right click on it, and subtract from pixel selection. Now you go up here to pixel selection, you see this is pretty muted, but that's good. Now we only have the midtones, so right click on it, create spare channel, right click on it, rename to MD1 for mids 1. Now I like to hit Control D or Command D just to make sure everything is unselected. Make sure we have picture selected again. Control Command A, select this whole image. You will see the marching ants here. Go to highlights 2, right click, subtract from pixel selection, go to shadows 2, subtract, right click, and then subtract from pixel selection. And now up to pixel selection again, right click, create spare channel, right click on spare channel, rename MD2. That's perfect. Now we have our 2 highlights, 2 shadows, and 2 midtones. But now we need to get this image back to a color, so RGB space. So just hit this one, and there we are. And now you basically use this like we used the other one, the first one on part 1 here. So go to highlights, load pixel selection. We go here to adjustments. I'm going to use levels again, and then Command Control D, deselect. We can see here that we have pretty good control now over everything. So this was highlights number 1. I'm going to load highlights number 2 by right clicking on it and load to pixel selection. I'm going to make another, sorry, that was the wrong one. I'm going to make another adjustment layer or levels. And now Command Control D, deselect, so we see what we're doing. Now you can see this is even more narrowed down here, and the graduation is really nice. So that's pretty much how you use it, and that's how you will use all of these here. And once you're done, you made your highlights, highlight them, Command Control G to group them, name them highlights. So let's do a midtones one here. Just right click on it, load to pixel selection, and this time I'm going to use HSL instead of levels, just to show you that how that works. Go to HSL. We want to change the greens here, so I click the green button, but I'm going to include some orange here, like so. And then we can go over to this, and we can just move it around, make it look a little bit more, we can really exaggerate it, but we're going to make it look a little bit more wintry here when everything is orange in Louisiana. So that's we adjusted them. Now we're going to go in and we're going to put some green back into the darker portion of this picture here. So we just loaded mids 2 adjustment, HSL. We're gonna go green here, and then we can just put it a little bit in. It's this way, just up the colors just a little bit. Perfect. And now we can see we have changed a lot here. So again, shift click the 2 layers, command control G to group, call these mids, and then we go to shadows, just right click on it, load the pixel selection, go to levels here, and we can do, let's just do a curves for example, command control D, deselect, and let's do a contrast curve like so, just to do it. And so you can see we have only affected the shadow areas of the image. And again, just group it and make it a shadow. That way you are nice and organized, and you can even move these around without any, so you have high, low, mids, and shadows. And that's how you use it. Make sure you go down into the description here and check out how you can win my 15 total layer luminosity mask preset here. And you basically just go to, or send me an email at spvp@email.com, and with your subscriber name, and next time I'll make a Affinity tutorial here, which probably will be in a week, I'll draw the winner and I'll email you the macro. Thank you all. I hope you have a good one.